First up, tonight's top pundits. I'm delighted to have journalist and broadcaster Linda Jubilee, maverick former Tory MP, who can now be honest with all of us, Michael Fabricant.
And I will.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Ethnographer, broadcaster and academic, Dr. Lisa McKenzie. Great to see all three of you. Michael, you must be gloating.
I am gloating a little, I must confess. I mean, it's incredible when you had Labour saying during the election they were going to take care of pensioners and the vulnerable. And they're doing quite the opposite. And, you know, when Labour was elected, and you said quite rightly, it was 34% of the popular vote, but so many people stayed at home and didn't vote. And in fact, out of the total number of people who could vote, Labour won with just 21% of people who could vote voting for Labour. And Starmer wasn't popular then. He was minus 16, but he's now minus 45 on the approval rating, but he's not alone. Got the figures here. Rachel Reeves is minus 36, and Angie Rayner, minus 23. I'm surprised it's only minus 23.
That's worse than Antarctica. I mean, Michael, the issue is, though, that no rules, by and large, were broken. And when it comes to sleaze, your lot were far worse.
In many ways, we were. But you know what? This is the point that Keir Starmer makes, and this is why Keir Starmer just doesn't get it. He says no rules were broken. But what he doesn't understand is what he did break was the people's trust. Those people, those few people, that 21% who actually did vote for him.
So is the small boats crisis opening the door to terror? It is suggesting that some people who are entering the country illegally could be of a terrorist nature or linked to terrorism. Is that dog whistle politics, Michael?
It may be dog whistle politics, but sadly, I think it's the truth. Look, Robert Jenrick, when he was immigration minister, he said that up to 2022, something like 1,000 people were known to have criminal records who came into the UK. But a lot of them who come here throw all their identification stuff into the English Channel, arrive either saying, you know what, we're only 16 or 15. Subsequently, doctors have said no, they're actually in their mid-20s. Others are saying, you know, we're escaping from persecution. But they're not, because they're not actually coming from countries where there is persecution. And one has to ask, A, why are they coming here? And B, some of them are escaping their own police because of crimes they've committed. And, you know, you made a very interesting point about struggles going on in Afghanistan and different people. You might remember
it's much worse than the public
but you might remember a few years back in the East End of London, legally people here of Pakistani and Bangladeshi origin were killing each other because they were different sects in the Muslim religion.
That led to suggestions that multiculturalism isn't working properly in this country. But that's the least of our worries. If there are people coming into the country illegally linked to ISIS or Al-Qaeda, if it's one person that's got terror links...
It's one person too many.
That's too many, because one person can cause...
No, I agree. And I think what we need to do is start to think, is really question what's happening when they get here. Because, you know, we read so many headlines about people who have been arrested, you know, and then we found out that they've done something in Spain or Germany. But we don't seem to be deporting, actually, and I think that's one of the issues that we've got.
Why do you think we're reluctant to do that?
I think...
Because they won't take other countries before...
Is it human rights lawyers?
It's human... So if you don't mind my saying, it's human rights lawyers, and the point is that other countries in Europe won't take them back. So you had Starmer saying, Starmer who's got no plans for anything, which is another reason, by the way, why he's so unpopular.
Of course, he'd argue he's going to smash the gang.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm tired of that.
We're all going to smash the gangs. It's that easy, isn't it? For the last few years, the gendarmerie, the Police Nationale, the German police have been all trying to do that and failed. So let me just finish. Starmer isn't actually doing anything different from what the previous Conservative government did. No. But the point is that the one thing that actually was deterring people from coming here which was the Rwanda thing, even though not a single, one person, I think, voluntarily went to Rwanda. But nevertheless, it acted as a deterrent. He's got rid of that, and he's offering... He is making this country open to not only division, but also
but the Tories did that.
The first duty of government is the safety of the people, and they're jeopardising it.
Why are you telling us in the studio that, and why are you telling our viewers and listeners, given that you've been in power for 14 years, if the Conservatives had stopped the boats, you'd still be in Parliament and Rishi Sunak would still be Prime Minister?
Well, there goes Rishi Sunak, who was stupid enough, in my opinion, to actually say we're going to stop the boats. We could never, ever stop the boats completely. But of course, but at least we had a plan. You say it's a white elephant. We didn't actually get it ongoing. And that was Rwanda.
The Irish government said on record that Rwanda was already working before it started.
Yes, because they were leaving England to go to Ireland. And people were worried to be in England. Starmer got rid of that.